Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, 1984's Night Has a Thousand Desires by Mr. Jess Franco. 1984, Night Has a Thousand Desires. This was just released on Blu-ray from Mondo Macabre, or Mondo Macabro. For the first time, I believe it's ever been available on a physical format. DVD, Blu-ray, anything like that. And this is the Blu-ray. This is the back of the Blu-ray. Right here, you can see some shots. And here it is, 1984. And 94 minutes long. Night Has a Thousand Desires. We have a quote on the front of the Blu-ray that states, "A delicate, precious invocation of a dream state." A film by Jess Franco. Now, Mondo Macabre has put out other Jess Franco titles as well, such as Lorna the Exorcist, How to Seduce a Virgin, and so forth. This particular film is very interesting because we have a good number of people from the cast of another Franco film called The Sexual Story of O. And so we have a good crop of people from that film in this particular film. This is when Franco goes back to Spain to film more movies such as Macumba Sexual and so forth. So we are back in Spain here in 1984. Lina Remey is the lead in this film, and this is a film about a medium, a woman who is a medium, and her partner, and their love, and her dreams, and poetry, and the mind, and murder, and the psychedelic, and dreams within dreams, and doors, exiting and entering, and different clothing, and the appearance and the disappearance. This is Night Has a Thousand Desires. This is a film of characters. This is a film of mystery. This is a film that is the surreal, the dream, the nightmare, the sex, the wild, the introspection, the reflection, and truly that band, The Doors, with Jim Morrison. This movie is the doors of perception. Let's get into this movie because this is truly a 94-minute experience. Okay? This is not a movie for the normal moviegoers out there. None of Jess Franco's films are, but this film in particular is a trip, is an experience, and is the entrance and the exit of the doors of perception and an inception. So let's get into this. First and foremost, I want to talk about the music in Night Has a Thousand Desires. The music in this film and the sound design in this film is probably the focal point of this movie, because this movie has some of the longest stretches I've ever seen in a Franco film without dialogue at all. We also have some dialogue in this film that is not interpreted, that seems to be of a foreign language, unlike the Spanish that is being spoken in this film, but another language, another world. We have sections of silence. We have sections of wind and waves and birds that are helicopters, and animals that you do not see. We have variations of the theme from Female Vampire. We have some of the most avant-garde, experimentally cacophonous, dark, psychedelic, dark, oppressive sound score that I've heard since Macumba Sexual by Mr. JESS FRANCO. And this, dare I say, is even more cacophonous and ravenous and nightmarish, and truly getting into the oppression and into the off-kilter and hitting that sacred musical clitoris of a spot that many dare not enter and don't even know how to. This is the type of score that could only be dialogue. The score is the dialogue. The score is the reality. We have sections of horrific bass, a horrific bass tone, the pluck of a string, boom, boom, boom. Sounds like a horror movie. We have classical composition that is dark and dramatically mysterious and interesting. We have sound design with the voice going through different processors and synthesizers, it seems. And we have an elegance and a mystery and a film noir and horror and the surreal and the bizarre and the otherworldly. Whew. When we go into the style of this film and the cinematography of this film, the score is the film. The style is the film. There is also some jazz in this film, but not your typical Franco jazz. Almost big band music playing from afar from a radio transistor that almost reminded me of the vibes of The Shining. As a matter of fact, I watched this film, and certain sequences I thought to myself, this is almost Carnival of Souls, that original black and white film, meeting JESS FRANCO somewhere. The style of this film meets that surreal music, and you are entering into out of doors and into doors and lighting that is from a distance and through a corridor and through a door, and whitewashed lighting through church stained glass windows and reflections upon reflections, and some of the most usage of focus, reverse zoom focus, close up focus that I've ever seen in a Franco film. Almost bewildered by what you are seeing on the screen, and what is it but a little glimmer within two legs, then you see skin, then you see something else. My gosh, where is Lena Romay looking? Where is she looking? Is she looking at you? Or is she looking at someone else in the room that we can't see at all? Eyes, 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 eyes of this film. The disappearance of people, never seen that before in a Franco film. Once sitting upon a bench and now gone. Objects are not what they seem, as objects are defined at the beginning of the film. And objects sound unlike what they're supposed to sound like. Long walks, the palm trees, makeup, costumes, outfits, blindfolds, screaming intensity of Lorna the Exorcist blasting out of nowhere, a telephone, a psychiatrist, Lena Romay's face taking up half of the screen. One of the most amazing sequences I've ever seen in a film and in a Franco film. A man and two women passing a cigarette of some sort. Lena Romay, in whatever incarnation she is at this moment. Is this a moment or a moment within a moment? And passing the cigarette around. And passing glances that shouldn't be the glances that you're thinking of with those four people in a room now. Where are we? What are we looking at? What is Lena looking at? Her face, her tongue inside of a belly button, oral sex, her mouth in another woman's vagina, pass the cigarette around one more time again. Who is the man, the reflection? Look outside of your window, now within the window, now in the room, now gone, disappeared. A villa, a car ride. Who is driving the car? Back seat, Lena staring, driving. A la Virgin Among the Living Dead, driving into another world. This beautiful villa of sorts, mansion, house, resort of sorts, trees outside, trees inside, 2 double beds, loss. Look this way at the camera. And for 1984, not as sexually explicit as his other films, but still, all of a sudden, a push into your face. Full nudity, men and women. Oral, implied, or is it? Tongue in tongue in tongue in tongue. Beautiful, sexually attractive women. Lena is older in this film and commands a presence, a different presence, a knife, sucker punches, blood on the window, sequences like Vampiros Lesbos, like a scorpion that's repeated, and now a helicopter. Blood dripping down a window reminded me of Vampiros Lesbos. This is Night Has 1,000 Desires. A twist ending. An explanation. But is it really an explanation of what you have just experienced? Jess Franco is in this film. And who he is playing is very, very interesting in light of the mind of this film. Thank you for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more.